Hello and welcome to At Brookings. I'm Gigi Hinton. For communities all across the nation, the recession, it seems, is not created equal. Research Director and Senior Fellow Alan Berube tells us how the nation's 100 largest metropolitan areas are navigating through these tough economic times, each in its own way. And every day we all use digital technology. So Governance Studies Director Darrell West leads a discussion on how we all benefit when the government and the private sector use these technologies. We'll also hear from the man on the street as he weighs in on the elections in Iran. All that's next at Brookings.
This is At Brookings, a review of news and events for the week of June 15th, 2009. The nation's many metropolitan clusters are weathering the economic downturn in different ways, with some areas managing far better than others. Senior Fellow Alan Berube says Metro Monitor, Brookings' latest report on metro areas and the recession, reveals that there are a host of factors that influence how metro areas are navigating their way through these hard times.
I think what this Metro Monitor is trying to communicate to federal policymakers is that the strategies that have been employed thus far to get the national economy back on its feet, broad fiscal, broad monetary policy, certainly necessary, we think, but probably not sufficient for grounding a nationwide, broad-based recovery. That, what's been done so far is probably all that's needed in some of the metropolitan areas that they're showing signs of recovery already, and that never got quite as affected by the recession in the first place. But there are some that are still on the downslope, are going to remain on that downslope for a long time. So what that suggests, I think, is that as policymakers think about, possibly a next round of stimulus or, the budget proposals that get adopted coming into the next fiscal year, I think they need to keep in mind the notion of perhaps more targeted assistance to areas of the country that are going to take longer to recover.
What do I think is going on with the people in Iran? I think it's really great to see them showing support of the candidate that they believe they've chosen, and to not support an election which may have not been fairly established.
It seems to me that the people of Iran are going through a lot of turmoil, and I feel some concern for not having a clear idea of what's happening there, concern for folks there.
It's really nice to see people who have not been very vocal in the past rising up and saying that they disagree with the situation.
And that's what I think.
Cutting-edge digital technology has affected our lives in countless ways by shrinking global borders, creating new venues for news and entertainment, and making communication immediate. Brookings Vice President and Director of Governance Studies Darrell West says both the government and private sectors can use these technologies to help forge a stronger and more responsive government.
There obviously has been a burst of new ideas over the last few months from the new administration on how governments can become more transparent, accountable, and connected. As part of America's recovery and reinvestment legislation, the federal government has set up a variety of websites, such as recovery.gov, data.gov, and other such features that are designed to help the public and interested parties track the money trail on the stimulus package in particular. How are states and localities spending the money? Are the policy goals that were set out in the legislation being achieved, and so on?
We have to get people to a place where they're comfortable adopting innovations, technological innovations, and are not in fear of their general counsel, as is sometimes the case. And it's widely disparate. I mean, you see folks, for example, in EPA that has a phenomenal innovation office. In DOD, where, they're pumping out innovations there, and tech-based innovations one after the other, that's really sort of a model of what can be done.
At Brookings is produced by the Brookings Institution. To learn more about the issues discussed on At Brookings, visit our website at brookings.edu.